do you give good quality feedback and a peer review? You're going to find out right now. Hey everybody, I'm Leigh from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia and to make your best impact. Today we're talking about how you can be a great peer reviewer and how you can give good feedback in your peer review, all right? So if you haven't experienced it yet, unfortunately, I think you will, when you are on the other end of the peer review process, where you are the one receiving the feedback on your article, I think we've all had experiences where some of that feedback is sometimes it's not that it's nasty, it's just that it's not super helpful. And other times it is nasty and it can be mean. And that's what we want to avoid as peer reviewers, okay? We want to give really high quality feedback that's not mean, and that's going to help people kick their manuscript up to that next level and really improve it, okay? Because I will tell you before we get started here that, you know, when I get feedback, I always grumble about it, I always complain about it, but at the end of the day, every single article I've ever published is better because of the feedback that I received, all right? And so this is your chance when you are a peer reviewer. Give somebody that high quality feedback to make their piece even better and help their piece have an even better and higher impact, all right? So you're really in a great position as a peer reviewer and an important position, all right? So what do? My first message outside of, you know, don't be mean, don't be nasty, once we sort of get past that, be specific, be concrete, and be constructive, okay? Those are, I think if you use that specific, concrete, constructive as a guideline, you cannot go wrong, okay? So what do I mean by that? So let's say that you find that there's a problem. It could be anything, right? Within this paper, you've got a question, there's information missing. You don't understand their data collection. I recently reviewed a paper where I didn't have a good handle on the timeline of the data collection process. So I don't need to be mean. What I need to do is say, I don't understand when you started and completed your data collection process, right? Or I might say something like, I understand that you started data collection in September, but then it looks like some of this data collection was done in December and maybe some more of it was kept going and was done in February, and I don't have a clear picture of it. Please help me understand the overall timeline of your data collection process. That's not mean. Now, if I get it back as the author, I might think I've done a really good job and I might grumble about it, but that's a different thing, okay? As a reviewer, I have communicated what it is that I don't understand and what it is that I would like some more information about. So let's think about this in a couple of more examples. If you're reading somebody's paper and the methods are not that great, what you don't want to do is say your methods are weak or your methods are bad, okay? But instead, how I like to frame it is, your study would have been stronger if you did X. So for example, recently I reviewed a paper and it was presented as a quasi-experimental study, but they allowed participants to self-select into what condition they wanted to be in, which weakens the overall findings, the validity and the reliability of the study because you let participants self-select. I could have said, that's not a really good thing you did, but and that's what I think. But instead, I worded it around your study would have been stronger if you had randomly assigned participants to conditions instead of allowing them to self-select. So this was a piece that I was going to be rejecting, okay? But I wanted to make sure that authors knew why I was rejecting it and what I thought the really serious problems were with the piece that at this point you can't fix. Right? They can't fix that through a revision. So going forward, they're going to have to think about what kind of journal would accept accept an article that has a weakness like that, or how do they want to maybe reframe it so that people understand why they did it the way that they did it, all right? So here's something that I got, not recently, but in the last couple of years. Somebody wrote to me, your theoretical framework was written in a very shallow manner. Great. That's basically all I got. It doesn't tell me, and of course, I didn't think it was shallow, all right? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I might read something like that and go, yeah, I kind of slacked off there. But in this case, I didn't, all right? And you don't know what the author, you don't know if the author's going to agree with that kind of a statement or not, okay? So I don't really know what to do with that information, right? How is it shallow? Where, as a reviewer, do you want more information, okay? So a better way to have helped me with that would have been something like, your theoretical framework could be improved if you did the following, and then name the things that you think as a reviewer need to be addressed and discussed, or additional references that you think need to be added to really beef things up. All right, so it's not shallow anymore. So I tend to think about what are the weaknesses here, and then rather than saying you did X wrong, saying here's the information that I need from you to better understand your piece, that I think is going to improve it, that I think is going to make it stronger, that I think is going to give readers more information. I try to be, again, specific, concrete, and constructive. And as long as you go with that, I think, as your mantra, specific, concrete, and constructive, you're going to give good feedback. It's going to help somebody really be able to refine and then amplify their message. All right, so if you like this video and you want more, click right here, and I will see you in the next one.